Good morning everyone. So today I am starting a weekly reading vlog. I asked on my Instagram what you guys would really like to see on my channel, and lots of people, loads of people in fact, said weekly reading vlogs, or reading vlogs in general. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm starting on a Saturday and I'm planning on doing it from Saturday to Friday and then hopefully upload the following Saturday. So we are currently Saturday the 20th, I think. Or I might completely have my dates wrong. Does it feel like to everyone that all the days are just the same at the moment? I very rarely know what the date is. I think it's the 20th. It's raining a lot outside today, so I'm planning on staying in all day. I've got lots of reading to do. I'm listening to an audiobook. In fact, I can show you. So this was another thing that my Instagram followers voted on this week. I'm currently reading A Darker Shade of Magic by V. Schwab. I put a little poll up on what I should listen to next, and that is what everyone suggested, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm about 6 hours in, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to be listening to that today. I've got lots of nice things planned this weekend, just a really chill one to be honest, and I'm going to get some reading done, so I will update you as I go along. The first thing I'm going to do this morning is listen to my audiobook and rejig my TBR shelves. So let me show you what we've got going on here. So just opposite from me here you can see one of my TBR shelves, and you can see over here the big box set of Throne of Glass books that I've got, which don't fit on any of the shelves, and I want to rejig because we've got lots of gaps here. Also, I have another shelf in the other room, which I'll take you to now. And so this is the second shelf of my TBR books, and as you can see there are big gaps in it, so I definitely can fit all the books that I've got that need to go on it. I just want to rejig them and just get myself a little bit more excited about them again. I definitely find that if I rejig my TBR shelf regularly, I get a little bit more excited about the books and I end up reading them a bit quicker and kind of know what I've got on my TBR, because I think at the moment I've got about 120-ish books on my TBR. I do want to try and get that under 100, but it's really difficult when you're buying new books all the time, as I'm sure you all know. So let's see how we go. I'm just wanting to rejig it all. I don't really have any order. I kind of want to just get all my fantasy books together because, as you guys may know, I'm on a bit of a fantasy push at the moment. So I want to get those all together and then I'll just see where everything else fits. So let's just go and do it. A little help from the cat, I've managed to complete this shelf. I mean, it does look a little bit higgledy-piggledy. Mainly on that middle shelf there I've got non-fiction, and then I just didn't really know what else to do with the rest of the stuff, so it's kind of like a little bit rainbowy at the top there. But I'm glad to see that there's actually a lot of space on the shelves, so I mean, it's making me want to buy new books, so that's probably not good. And then this shelf, we've got fantasy all along the bottom and then some on the middle shelf as well. And then the rest of the shelves are just how I think they looked good together with colours. Like, I've got no order whatsoever in them, but they just look nice to me and I like that. So there we go. As I mentioned, I'm listening to A Darker Shade of Magic, and I'm also reading Heir of Fire. I'm about 350 pages or 380 pages into this one and I'm really enjoying it. I also started this week Clara and the Sun, which is the new book by Kazuo Ishiguro. I'm really excited about this one, and it's like sci-fi, so it's about artificial friends and robots and that kind of stuff, which isn't usually something I would pick up, but I read the first chapter the other day and really enjoyed it, so looking forward to jumping into this one. This one is released on March the 2nd, so you guys will be able to read it then and buy it then, which is super exciting. Then also this weekend I'm hoping to pick up The Water Cure by Sophie Mackintosh, so I'm hoping to get a lot of reading done. I made myself a cup of tea and I'm just going to sit down with Clara and the Sun for a bit. So I put down Clara and the Sun before having some lunch and then picked up Heir of Fire again, and I'm only about 60 pages from the end now, so I think I'm going to finish this one today. I'm not going to talk about it here because I I talk about it a lot more and spoil and talk about all the things in my other video, so catch that one if you've read this book and you're interested to know my thoughts on it. But yeah, I'm gonna sit here and finish the rest of this one now and then have a look at some of the other books that I'm interested in reading. I've just finished reading Heir of Fire. I really enjoyed it, definitely my favourite of this series so far. We're just about to have some dinner, but then I think after dinner I'm going to start The Water Cure. This is a relatively short book compared to everything that I've been reading recently, so it might be a little bit of a break from the heavy duty fantasy that I've been reading, so I'm looking forward to seeing what this one's about. Morning everyone, it is Sunday now, and yesterday evening I managed to read about 70 pages of The Water Cure, and I'm enjoying it. It definitely took me a little while to get into though. The story is a bit strange and the way it's told is a bit strange. There's not a lot of dialogue, it's a lot of kind of telling, and you read kind of through the perspective of these three daughters, and as you can see, like, some of the pages are like literally just like short little paragraphs. So far we're basically on an island with this family and the dad has passed away, but you learn that they've kind of set up these rules about the outside world, and they have this fear of the outside world and what could potentially be brought to the island in terms of contamination or dangerous things that might harm them. So we're then left with the mother and the three daughters. Just a bit strange, like there's definitely something weird going on under the surface. One of the girls is pregnant and it's like a question as to like who got her pregnant and what is going on there. They seem to go through all these like weird therapies, like before they kind of closed themselves off, like women would come to this island seemingly as a way to get away from men, and then they'd have these therapies with the mother. Since there haven't been any women coming to the island, the mother's just been doing these like therapies with the children, but they're all a bit weird, like sewing them up in like these sacks and making them sit in a sauna until they pass out. Bit odd, yeah. So I'm very interested to see where this one goes. I think it's going to be a bit of a dark read. I didn't expect that, but then, oh actually, well, I mean on the front here it does say haunting, so maybe I should have read the front. A gripping, sinister fable from Margaret Atwood there, so well, okay, it is meant to be weird, so we'll see how this one goes. But for the minute I'm actually just going to sit here and listen to my audiobook whilst I do some crafting. I thought I'd show you what I'm crafting. Now I'm hoping, if my friend Lydia, if you're watching this, please cut away, do not watch this bit because you're going to see a surprise that I'm making for you. So basically my friend's having a baby soon and she lives on a farm, and so I'm making like a mobile for her, and so I need to make some extra things to kind of dangle off of this mobile. We've got a pig, a cow and a sheep, and so I think I'm going to spend some time making some more things to kind of dangle off of this because it's looking a little bit bare at the moment. So I'll check back in again later. But I now have a full mobile. I went with hearts and clouds to finish it off and I'm feeling pretty pleased with that. I hope she likes it, so that'll hopefully go above her baby boy's bed next month. I can't believe she's having a baby, it's crazy. Morning everyone, I just wanted to update you. It's Monday morning, so I finished The Darker Shade of Magic, or A Darker Shade of Magic, last night. And I didn't love it as much as I hoped I would. I know it's quite a loved book here in the book community, but I do wonder whether, because I enjoyed The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue so much, I was almost comparing them in my mind, expecting something of a similar vein to that book, I guess. I thought the world was okay. It just didn't feel like anything particularly unique. The characters felt quite flat and one-dimensional. They didn't really jump off the page at me. I didn't really care much about their story. I do wonder though whether the audiobook had a part in me not really enjoying it all that much, because the voices on it were a little bit grating at times and I found them to be like, they weren't how I would imagine the people talking in my head, and so I think there was a bit of a like jarring there. I was going to try reading the other two books in the series, however somebody on Instagram told me that the next audiobook, they've actually changed the narrators on it, so I might actually continue and give the next audiobook a go and see if I prefer these new narrators. Anyway, I wanted to update you on the book that I'm now listening to, which is Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse, and I'm only a few chapters in and I'm already enjoying it so much more. Even in just the first few chapters of this one, the world just feels so rich and unique, and I'm just really interested in what is happening. So far we've heard through the perspective of 3 different people, and the voices on the narration of the audiobook are brilliant and very easy to listen to, so I'm happy about that. So yeah, can't wait to read more of that, and I'll update you when I've got more to say. Good morning everyone, it's been a few days since I last spoke with you. Oh, I've got cats everywhere, goodness me. I finished reading Clara in the Sun last night, and unfortunately it just wasn't as good as I hoped it was going to be. It very much lost its way in the second half, and I just found that I wasn't particularly interested in what was going on, and that it was almost raising more questions than it was answering. I just felt like there was some more world building to do, and to just explain a little bit of what was happening more, so that then the story was a little bit more enjoyable, but oh well. Sydney! Can you see this boy? You're such a rascal, Sydney. It's because he hasn't been fed yet and he's a hungry boy. Still listening to the audiobook of Black Sun and I'm loving it. I've got about 4 hours left to listen to and it's so good, like on another level compared to A Darker Shade of Magic. Like Darker Shade of Magic was like way down here. Black Sun is just hitting everything. Like it's diverse, it's got LGBT characters, it's got like disabled characters, it's got trans characters, it's just like everything is in there and it's so unique compared to any fantasy that I've read before. Look at him! I'm gonna have to go and feed these cats, otherwise he's gonna demolish my tulips. The cats have been fed, so hopefully they won't disturb us. So I'm absolutely loving Black Sun. It's so fantastic and the world is just so rich. The characters and the voices on the audiobook are brilliant. I think it's definitely going to be one of my favourite audiobooks of the year, and definitely one, I mean, I haven't got to the end yet, but if it's going as good as it is going now, I imagine it's going to be one of my favourites, and then one that I want to buy in paperback as well so I can read it again in that format in the future. And then the only other book that I'm reading at the moment is The Water Cure by Sophie Mackintosh. I'm only about 100 pages into this one and I'm hoping potentially to finish it over the weekend or maybe tonight and tomorrow morning. And then I don't know what else I'm going to read. We're near the end of the month, so I don't know, maybe I'll try and just start a new book. I joined a book club at work. I don't know if I mentioned this already in this video, but yeah, I joined a book club and we're going to be reading Milkman by Anna Burns, which I do recall seeing around and about and mentioned in different awards, I think, when it came out. I don't really know much about it, to be honest, but I'm glad I managed to find it through my library so I didn't have to pay for it, because I have been part of book clubs before and the books that they choose are like never anything that I would ever pick, and so I'm always a bit dubious like to buy a book for a book club just in case I don't really enjoy it at all. So yeah, got that one from the library, so maybe I'll pick that one up this weekend as well. I think I'll have this as the end of my weekly vlog and see how it all comes together. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. I would love to hear down below if there's anything you'd like to see more of on a weekly vlog, or if you want me to talk more in depth about the books or anything like that. I'm happy to kind of make it what people want to see. And I hope you've all had a really lovely week and I will speak to you soon. Bye!